Alright guys, how's it going? Emmett here, back in another video. So in this one, we're going to be breaking down specifically the content strategy that you need to be following as a mortgage broker on Instagram. Now, I say need. This is my best advice based on the experience that I have, based on the results that I've generated. I have found that this is the best strategy that you should be following. And if you like what you see, I strongly encourage you to implement it, give it a go, and let your own results speak for themselves. So I'm going to go ahead, break all of this down, but before I do, I want to go on a little bit of a rant. And if you saw my last video, I did the exact same thing at the very start as well. And it is getting rid of misconceptions and common misheld beliefs that people may have about social media, about Instagram. So let's get into the rant first. And then if you want to get onto the actual actionable steps, you can skip forward 2 or 3 minutes or whatever, and I'll break that down properly. So let's get into it. Instagram strategy for mortgage brokers. So before we go into this, I have to state this. You have got to hold accurate beliefs around social media. When it comes to this, I know that people talk about, oh, this person blew up overnight, they went viral, they got loads of followers. Odds are it's not going to happen to you, and you're not going to explode overnight, and you're not going to go super viral straight away. If ever, it is possible, but just because it happened to one person doesn't mean that it's going to happen to you. You hear about success stories because they rise to the top, but you don't hear about the 99 other people out of that 100 that didn't see the success as the person who went viral did. But you hear about it because it rose to the top. It's not necessarily going to happen to you. Second, this isn't a platform for kids and mindless scrolling and just guys like me wearing some t-shirt with fancy lights and fluffy hair, whatever you want. I'm not the only person that's going to be on Instagram. Not that I'm actually on it that much, believe it or not. But if you actually break down the demographics, odds are you are going to find a much higher percentage of your target demographic and ideal client that you want to work with on these platforms. Just come into this with no misconceptions, because if you think, oh, my clients aren't here, there's no point. You're not going to give it 100%. You're not going to give it your all, and you're not going to get the results that you want to get as a result of it. It's not something, again, you can see here, not something that can be done with minimal effort. You're not just going to be able to come into this and be like, oh, I'll just outsource it and have someone handle the entire thing on my behalf. Because if you want to do social media and you want to do it well, there's going to be a certain level of input from yourself. It needs to be required. And if you think, oh, I'm just going to do this, I'm going to blow up overnight, and it might work and it might not, but there's not really anybody there, and you just don't put any effort in, it's not going to work. So my point is, don't expect to explode overnight. Actually be willing to put in some work over a period of time consistently, and actually be willing to put effort into something, because the grass is greenest where you water it. If you stick with this for a long enough period of time, it will bear fruit. So that's that. You don't want to just outsource this and have someone put Canva posts up 3 days a week, because it's not going to work. It's not going to work. At least not as well as it can, or as well as you probably wanted to or have heard of it doing. It is part of the business and can genuinely be used to grow. If you claim that you have no time to do social media, yet you do have time to grow your business, then your expectations and priorities are misaligned, because if you're telling me that you don't have time to do social media, but you do have time to handle the clients you can get as a result of growing your business, then make that make sense, because social media is what you're going to be using in this instance to grow your business. If you don't have time to handle the clients, if you do have time to handle the clients, you don't have time to do social media, that doesn't make any sense. You need to put the inputs in first to even get those clients in the first place, and you should probably be focusing. I'm not going to get too much into building business lessons here or anything like that, but if you want to grow, you should probably look into building leverage as opposed to just trying to take on as many clients as you can and then claiming you have no time to do social media. You're spreading yourself too thin. But treat it accordingly. It can grow your business. You can do this seriously, and you can actually generate inquiries from it. I want your results to sort of speak for themselves whenever you try this. I'm not just going to sit here and read some letter of the law. But you get out what you put in. This is very much an input-output thing. Stay consistent with it for a long period of time. You will see results, and it will bear fruit. The grass is greenest where you water it. So, rant out of the way, guys. I'm going to get on to the actual actionable advice here now. Break down some examples, things that you can implement, action steps, all of that stuff to get you started on your own. So, let's go for it. Foundations. So I have a couple of examples here. We're going to use these to actually break it down. So username. Your username is, well, I'll show it to you now. Your username is this. So that's your username. It shows up there in your profile. You can see here, and we can see here as well. So you want your username to just be the company name, whatever it may be. The mortgage company 123, whatever it may be, financial services 123. Just make that your username, and you're probably going to have an issue whereby you'll try and type it in, and it'll say, oh, this username is taken. Just put a dot in it, or put 2 at the end, or put an underscore in it, or what have we got? Yeah, they managed to get theirs all on their own. So go ahead, make your username the company name. Pretty simple. These are just the basics. Name. So your name is this. So just underneath the follower account, you can see there. We can see here as well. And we can see here too. So that is your name. You want to just make that. So if you're sort of a smaller company, okay, so let's say there's 5 team members or less. Actually, we'll go with 7 or 8 team members or less. You want to make that just the owners. So I'm assuming you're the owner watching this because you're doing strategy for social media. You want to make that just the owner's name, your full name. Use that little dash. I think that's the best in my opinion. And then your specialist role. So let's say, for example, I don't know, you're an equity release specialist. You want to put your full name. So I would do Emmett McCarry, equity release specialist, or Emmett McCarry helping, I don't know, legal professionals or doctors or GPs, not GPs, health practitioners, so on and so forth. But if obviously it's a much bigger company, you have a reputation, a brand, things like that you want to uphold, go ahead, just put the business name as well. It's fine. But you can actually just do that out in full with a space. So let's say, for example, Barfield Financial Futures, you could just go ahead and do that out without the dot, actually take the spaces, put in the capital letters, make it look a bit nicer, and format that a little better. But that is only for sort of larger companies whereby you rely more so on the brand of the company as opposed to your own personal brand and your own face. So yeah. So when it comes to the bio, you want to just go ahead, state who you are, what you do, and who you do it for, as well as a call to action. So the call to action can really be whatever you want. You can link something like a YouTube, you can link a free newsletter, you can link a form submission whereby people can request a call back, they can book in for a call themselves, whatever you want. I don't think the truth is not that many people are going to be going through and booking a call through the link in your bio. It's just the truth. Unless you have like hundreds of thousands of followers, it's probably not going to happen. But it's worth having it there anyways. You can just do a quick call to action. So the purpose of me adding these was because I actually want to analyze them in relation to this. And then highlight covers. So these are highlight covers. You want them to be just consistent with your brand and consistent with themselves. So you can see there, it's consistent, same sort of colors, same sort of feel. That's very consistent and very professional as well. So I would probably recommend that you do just sort of general photos, or you actually do up cover designs. Either or works, so long as they're in alignment with your current brand so far. And yeah, that is everything for the actual foundation. So what people see whenever they come onto your page, it's going to be, I didn't go through the profile picture. Yeah, so the profile picture, you want a clear picture of the owner's face. So the actual person who owns the business, you want their face, and you can do up a background like that. So I'm not going to get my phone out for, well, I have my phone here. Basically, right, I will try and do this very quickly. The way that I recommend you do this is you just find a photo of yourself. So here's me, okay? Here is me. And if I hold on this, see the way that I highlighted myself? And then you can just copy that. And whenever you copy it, go ahead, paste it into Canva, okay? And paste it into Canva on, say for example, a purple background. So just insert a purple square as the background, paste yourself on it, export the image, and then upload that as a profile picture, and you can get a profile picture that looks just like these with the background. So let's actually critically analyze these. So this one, yeah, I give this a big thumbs up overall. Good profile picture, good username, good actual name as well. You can see first name, specialist role. I help self-employed business owners. So who you are, what you do, who you do it for. Help self-employed business owners buy their dream home. Yeah, spot on. First time buyer mortgage tips. And then there's a couple of links there, probably linked to the website. Spot on. And the highlight covers, yeah, I'd give that And by the way, if you're watching this, Antonio or Claire or Monarch Financial, like I highly doubt it, but if you are, then shout out to you guys. And I'd be more than happy to do sort of a run through in your accounts as well if you're open to it. But yeah, these guys, big thumbs up on Antonio. Again, for Claire, big thumbs up here as well. So profile picture is spot on. I'd probably recommend getting a newer, up-to-date, clearer photo and just doing just the plain backgrounds. I feel like a little black outline's a bit of a distraction. But again, name is fine. Mortgage Solutions Derry, Claire Feeney, mortgage broker NI UK, spot on. So who you are, mortgage broker, what do you do, life insurance, home insurance. And then you can do where you're based. I would even probably recommend, I'm going to add to this as well, bio. Can I not add to this? What I want to add, guys, is phone number or a contact number. I'd recommend that you put in a contact number or something like that as well. I didn't mention it here, but it is definitely something that you can do, so people can very easily just go ahead and get in touch with you, and that won't do any harm whatsoever. And when it comes to Monarch, so I'm very sorry, Monarch Financial Services, if you are watching this, I'd recommend you change up the profile picture because you can see it's the logo of the company, but it's not even like on full display. You can actually see the whole thing. Name is fine. I'd recommend putting in sort of just that you guys are obviously mortgage brokers in the name, and then just including a little bit more about sort of what you do when it comes to the bio, and just making it look a bit more presentable. Put in some emojis the same way that Claire has, the same way that Antonio has. But you did put in your phone number, which nobody else did, so I will give you guys some thumbs up on that. Anyways, moving on for the sake of the video, that is what I'd recommend that you lay out your foundations as. So, content. This one's a bit bulkier, and it's probably what the majority of the people watching this came for. So this is going to be a bit of a rant as well, and I am going to call some people out here. I'm not going to mention any names, of course, but some people might not like this. Anyways, when it comes to content, you have probably heard people say, just go into ChatGPT and ask for 10 common mortgage questions and then just make videos answering them, or go into Canva, do up 30 designs. That's enough to post 3 times a week for like 3 months. And here's the thing, if you have bad skin, you go to a dermatologist. If you have bad teeth, you go to a dentist. And the purpose of that is that you want to take the right advice from the right people. And whilst there is still credence to this advice from the content guys in the mortgage space, it can certainly be improved on, and there is much more leverage to be had in implementing new strategies, as opposed to just going to ChatGPT, asking for 10 common mortgage questions and answering them, or just blasting volume on Canva, because, well, if you do this, you're not going to stand out, your content will become homogenous, and you'll just blend in with the rest of the market. There's not any incentive for somebody to want to work with you specifically, as opposed to just some competitor on the street. And when it comes to the Canva designs, well, I mean, you might as well not do them. Like, why is somebody going to want to work with you just because you put up some Canva design? You know what I mean? It's low effort, low quality, and it'll get low quality results. It's just the truth. So, yeah. My point is, take the right advice from the right people. If you want to learn about content, listen to people who do content. If you want to learn about mortgages, listen to people who do mortgages. But we're talking about content here, so you want to listen to the people who are already killing it with content in the space. So what are you supposed to do instead of just asking ChatGPT or using Canva to do upload of designs? 2 things. One is to build a competitor list of mortgage advisors who are already having success in the space. And number 2 is build a competitor list of content specialists who are already having success in the space. And because of the fact that they're specialists, the majority of them are going to be anyway, so you can just pick 10 of them, for example, and they'll probably give you a good bit of room to work with. So what you're going to want to do is compile successful themes, so video styles, video formats, successful hooks, so the opening line, the first 3 seconds of the video, value components, so what actually is the purpose of this video, why would anybody watch this, because bear in mind, when it comes to content, it's an exchange of value. Yeah, you're giving them something, and they are giving you their attention and time, and they're not going to give you their attention and time for nothing. You actually need to give them value and contribute to their life through that video. So what is the value that these people are giving away? Don't steal it, by the way. Iterate it. You can like copy it slightly, or copy themes, but iterate that. Editing styles, that's going to be something you're going to want to watch on as well. I don't recommend that you spend an awful lot of time editing yourself. You can outsource this for cheap. You can find people on Fiverr, you can find people in Facebook groups, so on and so forth. But if it is something that you find after going through the competitor list that should be focused on, then yes, go ahead, it will be worth it. And listen, if it doesn't work, So what, you spend 50 to 100 quid in editing and then determine that it doesn't work and you stop. It's fine. And then scripts as well. So video length, how people are actually formatting their videos in terms of sentences that they speak, so on and so forth. To see what actually works on Instagram. Then take your feedback. So how you determine what actually works. Take that from views, comments, and inquiries as to what works best. So my camera just died. Anyways, you want to determine the success of these based on the feedback that you actually get from your audience. So you want to look at the views, you want to look at the comments, likes, inquiries, new followers, things like that. Inquiries is the main thing, I'll be honest with you, but you can still get value from followers, which I'll go on to in a second. So determine the success by the actual inquiries and results that you get as a result of the content, not just based off of, oh, I like that video and it looks nice, so I'm going to do more of them, because you can do that, but this is about driving business. So in the interest of driving business, take your feedback from inquiries, likes, followers, views, so on and so forth. What actually builds your presence and builds your brand. The whole goal of this is to build trust with your audience, so they're confident that not only that you know what you're doing, but they actually trust and like you as a person, because the thing about advice, is that 99% of advisors, you're going to trust that they know what they're doing, okay, that they can get you good advice and get you a good deal, but you're not gonna, you can't stand out on having better advice. You need to stand out in the way that people perceive you, and you can stand out in the way that people perceive you by developing an entertaining and actually valuable and useful content strategy, because there is no limit to the amount of followers that you can have, but there is limit to the amount of people that you can go up to in person and say, oh, my mortgage advice is great, or there's only so many people that you can work with and get referrals off of, so on and so forth. But there is no limit when it comes to online. Stand out through your content. Where was I? And you can stand out with a large audience as well. The more people that you have following you, obviously the more of your ICP is going to follow you as well, potential clients, and the more business you can write to. So you can stand out through your content. Where are we? Yeah. So, how do you actually make content, and what should it look like? So let's go through some examples, and I will give a disclaimer here. These aren't politically accurate terms, it's just what I've coined to make it a bit easier to understand. And I do have a full breakdown of these, by the way. I have a full video breaks down exactly how to make these. Or not even a full video, it's a full massive guide on exactly how to do these. If you want it, then just ask for it, just let me know. Just comment the word guide, and I will make sure that you get your hands on the entire breakdown of how to make all this sort of content. So first one is studio videos. Let's just go into it and let's have a look. So what do I mean by studio videos? This is actually my video. It is essentially just setting the camera up in front of your face and speaking about a topic. Generally speaking, they're educational. Now, you can throw in a joke or anything like that, but ultimately it's scripted out in advance. You actually plan out the video, plan out the topic, plan out the hook, plan out the value peak, and plan out a call to action as well. So what you want to do is hook viewers in with the actual problems that you understand, that you did out whenever you were analysing your ICP. You know what's going to catch their attention. You know what they're going to be interested in. So you can have solutions for them in the form of a document, in the form of a guide, in the form of a free call. And you can use a call to action of comment call to claim your free call. So before you know it, you've hooked a load of people from your ICP into the content, given them something that they really wanted, and then told them how to get it. And that creates a beautiful flywheel whereby more people will view it, more people will comment, and as a result, that boosts it even further. So more people view, more people comment, and so on and so forth. So that is sort of the whole purpose of the studio videos, as I like to call them. And all you really need for this is your phone as a camera. You can buy a tripod for a tenner, you can buy a ring light for a tenner, and that's it, really. And you don't even need the light, you can use sunlight for this. So that is studio videos. And again, you want the full guide on making them, just comment guide down below. I will send it to you, no problem in the slightest. Engagement videos, so these are more sort of catered to the algorithm. They're a bit more fun, so you can't actually hear it. I know you won't be able to hear it through this recording, but there is music playing in the background here. So it's a short clip, short B-roll. This is called B-roll. So footage whereby you're not actually speaking, it's just played. It's quick, snappy, dynamic, and you let the text do the talking for you. So avoid these mistakes when buying a house. They pop up one by one. They're quick. They're snappy. You can't just sit there and take 10 minutes to read it. And actually, by the nature of having it this way, you're going to have to keep rewatching the video, so on and so forth. More views. And there's actual value to be had here as well. You can see there's plenty of value here. And there are plenty of small tips quickly there. Purpose of these, they're quick, they're simple. You can go ahead and record 50 different B-roll clips in one day. Change jackets, change shirts, so on and so forth. It'll take you an hour, and that will sort your content forever. You won't ever need to film B-roll again. You can do engagement videos forever, and that's that. Meme videos. So these are just funny videos. Just think of something funny. For example, when you're running from the police and you hear them say their mortgage is up for renewal in the next 6 months. It's funny. Just think of something that is going to get people to laugh. And you can do these. I don't recommend you base your entire brand off of it. I would say 10 to 20% of your content maximum. Any more is overkill. Any less, people would just think that you're some boring professional who, well, they won't be very interested in working with. So, photos. Personal photos. What do I mean by personal photos? I mean just personal life photos. So, you can see here, this is an example. This individual, he's just at a social event and he got a photo and he shared it to his business Instagram. You can do that. It proves that you're actually a real person outside of work, and it makes people feel like they can trust you and resonate with you more. And that'll help you stand out. If you just give homogenous advice, you won't stand out. Team or business photos. So again, this gives people an insight into the team. It makes them feel like they're a part of the team and already working with you before they even started, by giving them that insight. So I'd encourage you to get as many team or business photos up there as you can as well. And lastly, client reviews. Something that isn't done anywhere near enough in the space. Get as much social proof as you can. The odds are clients are going to be more than happy to give you reviews. All you have to do is just ask, oh, what did you think of the advice? What did you think of the experience? Would you be open to let us know what you thought about it on Google, on Facebook, on Instagram? Would you be open to sending us a photo of you moving into the house? And you can go ahead and share this stuff. And, it does so much in terms of legitimacy. And actually proving that you know what you're doing. So, strongly recommend you get the client reviews. So, lastly, to round all this off, make sure that you actually identify the type of client you want to work with and speak specifically to their problems. So when you're doing your hooks, you want to call out a problem that they have. Because if you know your ICP well enough, and ideal client profile ICP, and you know their problems and you know what's going to get their attention, you can leverage that. You know what is going to solve those problems, you can leverage that again as value, and then you can leverage that into a call to action to get people to comment. Do out a document, get this in detail by the way, actually take time, do out a document discussing their problems, common questions and main issues that you can help with, and leverage this when it comes to your content. That is my best advice for actually getting people to go ahead and listen. And you might be thinking to yourself, oh well Emmett, surely if I make an ICP I'm limiting myself in the market and I can help less people. Yeah, you are to an extent, but you won't be able to address people well enough in your content. You won't be able to get people to resonate with you quite as well either. So I'd recommend you pick one, you actually go ahead and stick with it, resonate with them, and it will bear fruit. And in this instance, less is so much more, as opposed to just focusing on everybody. Because if you speak to everybody, you speak to no one. So that's content, guys. Like I say, one last time, if you want my full breakdown on how to make these specific videos, I send this to all of my clients whenever we get started. And yeah, I'm not trying to hold it back. If you want it, let me know. I'll send it over. Comment guy down below. So lastly, we've got warm outreach. So warm outreach, what is this? What's warm outreach? To actually generate inquiries, appointments, and clients, you're going to want to implement warm outreach. A popular strategy you'll come across when building your competitor list, and I've been discussing this already by the way, is to use a call to action to claim a free resource. For example, I don't know, a step-by-step guide to organising necessary paperwork for an application. Let's say, for example, your ideal client is first-time buyers. You can, just a very quick video idea off the top of my head, are you based in the UK and looking to buy your first home? Well, we know that people struggle with putting together their paperwork, so comment guide and we'll send you a full guide to putting your paperwork together. Awful video, by the way, don't post that, but very quickly off the top of my head, that's the premise that you're going on here. Call to action is CTA, by the way. They can claim a free resource that way. But the point is, you're going to get people commenting on your post. Actual interest from real people. And it's 99% likely that they're going to be looking to apply for a mortgage in the next 12 months, or else they wouldn't be asking for the resource. Think about that, okay? If they're actually commenting, real people, odds are they're going to be looking to apply in the next 12 months. So what you're going to do is check in on them, message them, follow them, like some of their posts, ask them how they found the guide. Why did they apply for the guide? Was it useful? Did they enjoy it? Was there any issues that they had with it? And you might be thinking, oh, well, this is a little spammy, I'm not doing that. If you truly believe that they'll be better off as a result of your service, then you're doing them a favour, and you're doing yourself a favour as well, because you're going to be growing your business and they're going to be getting that ideal outcome as a result of working with you. That is if you truly believe that they'll be better off as a result of using your service. So you're actually doing them a favour. But check in on these guys. If they're going to be getting, odds are they're going to be getting a mortgage in the next 12 months. So you're going to want to check in on them. And like I say, if you're able to help them, then you are genuinely doing them a favour by doing that. So that is warm outreach. And this goes for people following you as well, by the way. If somebody follows you, you get a new follower, message them, appreciate the follow. Thank you so much. Oh yeah, no problem, guys. Happy to be here. What encouraged you to follow? Oh, well, I'm thinking about applying for a mortgage. Oh, okay. Why are you looking? And so on. You've started a conversation already, and before you know it, you got your foot in the door with somebody who probably hasn't had all that much time to go ahead, speak with different advisors, so on and so forth. And you can build that trust through your content, which I've just talked about, over time as well. So that is content, guys. I believe that is everything that I wanted to cover today. So that is Instagram for mortgage brokers. We'll do a very quick recap here. The first is make sure that you have your beliefs in order. Don't think that this is a waste of time. Don't think you're just going to explode. And don't think you can just outsource it and not put in any effort. Grass is greenest where you water it. Stick with it. It'll bear fruit. Get your foundations right. Make sure to organize your profile, username, name, bio, and call to action, as well as your highlight covers, and make sure you look like you have a professional brand whenever people come on. Content. So obviously I have went ahead, called out some of the people who were giving advice on this already. I don't want to be controversial with that in the slightest, by the way. If you disagree with me, go ahead, feel free. This is just me saying what's worked for me. And if you like it, go ahead, try it. No obligations. So yeah, you want to go ahead, build a competitor list, see who's doing well, take inspiration from the feedback that you get as a result of implementing new ideas. And these are a load of different ideas that you can go ahead and do yourself. And if you want the guide, how to do it, comment guide, I'll send it to you. And make sure that you resonate with an ICP. You cater this content to a particular ICP. And lastly is the warm outreach. Make sure you're actually getting in touch with people, comment with you, follow, and so on and so forth, because they are all prospective clients, potential business, and you can do quite well by sticking with that. So that is content, guys, for Instagram for mortgage brokers. Bit of a long one, I know. If you're still with me, I really do appreciate it. You can certainly see a very, very solid foundation built if you stick with this at the very least, and you can generate some really strong business and a good reputation online through doing this stuff. So like I say, if you're still with me, I really appreciate it. I appreciate you tuning in for this one, all the support so far, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video as well. Thank you very much.